That's 6 properties that we have on this site right now, but we're working on 3 at a time. We started off over here. That was the first one. Second one, these are both complete. We're just going to spray the hydromulch and place the straw wattle. This one here, all the ash debris is all gone. We're just handling the concrete now. All of this material is going to a recycle facility. And then, like I said, we have 2 other properties ongoing right now. We have one that's going to look very similar to this, where all the ash debris is gone. And then we have another where we're still dealing with the steel. All of these buildings, all these houses were sheet metal stud. And a lot of these people were thinking their houses were fireproof. But the roofing still had wood sheeting. And the consensus is that the embers flew into the vents in that attic space. And that's where the fire started. The winds here, I'm hearing, were 80 to 100 miles an hour. And it just created a blowtorch effect. The last project we're working on, we actually got really lucky. The homeowner came out and asked if we would work on time and material to try to find her Tiffany's wedding ring. And the guys were digging through the debris, and we started finding the quarters. She goes, "That was right next to my ring." And then we found some other costume jewelry, and she's like, "That was right next to my ring." And we just kept digging, and one of the guys, he said he just felt something, and he pulled it out. And he's like, "I was about to throw it away, because it was just encrusted in like stucco and drywall." And he was like, "Nope." And then he brought it out to her. And
diamond ring?
Yeah, a Tiffany's diamond ring in platinum. So she was stoked. I mean, it's not like it was a gigantic diamond, but it's still, it was her wedding ring.
Yeah.
So
huge sentimental value.
And over there they had an urn, and they thought the box was wood, and it was a wooden box. And I said, finding a wooden box with an urn, how are you going to decipher ashes from your loved one to ashes from the fire? And they said, we're actually bringing in cadaver dogs.
Really?
Yeah. And so we removed all the steel from on top as carefully as we could, and we put it in the back of the property and just basically left a flat footprint. On Saturday, they brought in a cadaver dog, and within an hour, the dog laid down and said, "Right here." And they dug for an hour and a half. Turns out that wooden box had a metal liner in it, and they found it intact. So they were super stoked. So today they actually have, what do they call that group?
Samaritan's Purse.
Samaritan's Purse. They're coming in, they're wearing gloves, they're wearing the N95 masks, and they're digging through the property, and they're finding a lot of artifacts that would otherwise just go to the landfill. And these homeowners have just been ecstatic to work with them. So it's a great organization. If you need their help, you can find them.
And it's free.
Yeah, and I believe it's free.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is just the Christian organization that's wanting to do their part.
So we're just wrapping up some of the final stages of this job here behind me. All of the steel's been recycled, the fire debris has been taken to the landfill, and the last step is to recycle all of this concrete from the foundation, slabs, flatwork. So this site will be completely cleared by the end of the day, and then we're gonna bring in the erosion control. Spray the lot, put up the straw wattle, and this one will be ready for sign off. All right, I wanted to do a quick update out here at the Simi Valley landfill. I was out here a few weeks ago, and there was hardly any line or any traffic going in and out of the dump, dumping fire debris. But today, the line is all the way up the road, probably a mile long. Once you get into the landfill at the weigh station, there's another line that's, many, many trucks back. So we're in full production now on the debris removal, and it makes sense. It seems like it's starting to pick up speed. This is a job that tested positive for asbestos. So before we can get in here and do our traditional demo, we have to bag up basically all of the fire debris in little 3-foot by 3-foot clear bags. And that has to go to a designated place that accepts asbestos. Really slows these jobs down and makes them way more expensive. Because traditionally we can get in here with big heavy equipment and knock a job out like this in about 2 days, 3 days. But when it comes to asbestos, we're not allowed to use any heavy equipment whatsoever, no electronically powered or battery powered tools. This all has to be done completely by hand. So we've almost finished that here. You can see they've cleaned up all of the fire debris, literally wiped down by hand this slab to make sure there aren't any remnants. And then we'll come in here after the fact, once all the asbestos has been abated, with the big equipment, and we'll take out the concrete work that you see here, the footings, foundations, that kind of thing. But almost doubles the cost if you're one of the unfortunate ones who test positive for asbestos. So what we're doing here, we're filling up the tank so that we can hydro mulch these lots that we just finished clearing. A lot of guys have been asking me, how do you get water so that you can, fill up these tanks, or for dust control, fill up your water buffaloes, that kind of thing. You can actually get one of these meters from the county. They'll check it out to you just like the library, and you can hook it up to the hydrants. It records just like your residential water meter, all of the water that you're pulling from the hydrants, and then they'll just bill your account. So yeah, if you need water, either in Pacific Palisades or Altadena, go get one of these meters. They'll check it out to you, like I said, and you get as much water as you need.
Wood fiber, the green dye in it, and then we also add in a glue, and it basically prevents any kind of erosion control, dust blowing around. That way if it rains, it won't be eroding and causing more havoc down here.
What does the wood fiber do?
It's just basically, that's what keeps it stabilized.
Okay.
Just chopped up wood fiber.
And the glue binds the dust and
Yeah.
stuff? Okay. And what's the green dye for? Is it
More of a marker to see where it's been sprayed.
Again, this is the last step. We just installed all of the straw wattle around the perimeter of the lot, and these guys are spraying it now. While I'm here, it's a great time to show the difference of what you get between a private job like the one that we did here and an Army Corps of Engineers job. This one directly adjacent to us was performed by the Corps of Engineers. Similar type of property. This one had a basement, had a raised flower bed there in the back. And what we did is we removed the ash footprint, and then we did our very best to grade this, removing all of the hazardous soil, of course, but then did our best to grade this. So it's pretty much ready to build on. It's gonna need some grading according to the civil engineering plan that the homeowner gets for the rebuild. But I'd say this is 90% ready to build on. Whereas this one behind me, you can see it's still a mess. They haven't done the erosion control, but this is about as good as it's gonna get. You can see it also had a basement. They've left a huge crater there. All of this concrete that's here in the driveway, this will all be left behind. It's broken, damaged, definitely unusable. The homeowner's gonna have to pay to have someone come out and remove this at a later time. And you can see they've left some huge stumps in here from the wood that the trees that were burned that they cut away. Whereas this one had a tree just as big as the one, if not bigger than the one over there, standing still. We actually tipped it over, pulled out the root ball and everything. So there's no stump, nothing there that they're gonna hit in the future. And another detail here is we capped the sewer line, and that's right here. So we've marked it with this sandbag, but once I uncover this here, you can see this pipe. So that's exactly where the sewer line is. This literally goes right down to the hub where we capped it. So when the builder comes in here, they're not gonna have to look all over the place. They know exactly where it is, exactly the depth, and that's gonna save a lot of time and money when it comes to rebuilding. You don't get that with the Corps of Engineers jobs. They come in here, tear the properties up, remove the fire debris, but somebody's gonna have to go in here and search for that sewer line later. Not to mention it's not capped, so all kinds of mud and other things can get in there. Hopefully that doesn't cause a problem for the city down the road. Huge difference in what you get. with a private job like the one you see here and a Corps of Engineers job next door. All right, so check it out. This sign indicates that this job is completely finished according to the Corps of Engineers standard. Signed off on it and everything, it's complete. But if you look over here, what you'll see compared to the lot we just finished across the street, there is a ton of work left to be done. They've left in this entire concrete driveway, although it's damaged. There's a big block wall that's still left there. Huge valleys and trenches where the foundations were dug out. They did literally nothing to try and smooth that out or grade it whatsoever. And the standard is that they should really only take out 6 inches of soil within the ash footprint. And you can just see that's about 1.5 feet. So these guys do bill by the ton, and there's definitely some extra dollars that were made on this lot specifically. There's another one right up here. It's the next door over, and you see a similar thing. The driveway here has been trashed, so this is all going to have to be cut out right here, broken all the way up. They've taken out about 1.5 feet of soil, and they've left a ton of block work and things that are going to need to come out later before this is ready to build on. So you get a huge difference when you manage your own insurance money, hire the contractor of your choice, and then you're on site and you manage the job. You get done what you want to get done. And these lots that people hire us to do, I mean, they're almost ready to build on. It's going to require very little work, and then it'll be completely ready to build on. All right, so just to recap, hopefully this video has shown you approximately what the production rate is of this fire cleanup. As we saw from overhead, the main priorities seem to be cleaning up Pacific Palisades and Altadena. If you're in Malibu, they've got very few crews working over there, and it might be a good idea to reach out to a private contractor. We've also showed some of the difference between private cleanup and Corps of Engineers cleanup. My recommendation, as always, try to control the process as much as you possibly can. If you have an insurance allowance for debris removal, it's going to be in your best interest to hire a private contractor, be on site when they perform the work, and get your site as ready to build on as you can. We'll see you guys next week.